Our Honorable Union Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Shri Som Prakash ji, our chief guest for the today's webinar, and Director of Reserve Bank of India and Director of National Cooperative Development Corporation, Shri Satish Marathe ji, and CA Dr. Girish Ahuja ji, our tax guru, and General Manager of SBI, Shri Sumit Faka ji, and Gaurav Munjal ji, leading industrialist and businessman, Pride of Ludhiana, Managing Director of Hero Tech Limited, respected Upkar Singh Ahuja ji, President of Chamber of Industrial and Commercial Undertaking, PMD of Man Group, respected Shri Harish Kherpal ji, Finance Secretary of Network Club, and our today's guest speaker, Shri O.P. Chaudhary ji, SBI DGM, Candidate Circle, CA Vinod Rawal ji, and respected Ashwini Gupta ji, convener of Visionary Professional Association of India, my seniors, juniors, and peers in the profession, members of the industries and other associations. I heartily welcome you all to today's webinar on very current issue, various themes for MSME and startup. I am feeling grateful to all the dignitaries for accepting our invitation and sparing their valuable time. And really, we are feeling honored. Bhupinder ji, once mute all.
Yes, all are muted, ma'am.
So I am feeling really grateful to all the dignitaries for accepting our invitation and sparing their valuable time. And really, we are feeling honored and privileged and at the top of the world among the galaxy of intellectuals and great personalities. So as Minister Sir, he has spared his valuable time. We won't take his much time. I am proudly elated to take an opportunity to introduce the chief guest of today, our Honorable Union Minister for State and Commerce, Om Prakash ji. He is a member of Parliament Lok Sabha constituency and an ex-MLA from Phagwara. He is also a former Deputy Commissioner of Jalandhar and former IAS officer of 1998 batch in Punjab Pradesh. He is hardly any need to introduce him, but sir, you have made us all proud of your distinguished work in numerous capacities. We heartily welcome you, sir. I request our Honorable Union Minister for State and Commerce and Industry, Shri Som Prakash ji, to deliberate, to give his word of wisdom to all of us. Shri Som Prakash, sir.
Respected Srimati Shalini Gupta ji, Visionary Professional Association, various professionals, industrialists, ladies and gentlemen, it's why I am thankful to the Visionary Professionals Association for organizing this event and inviting me to address this as a chief guest. MSME are the backbone of our economy in terms of their employment generation, capacity, and earning foreign exchange, and their contribution in GDP of the country. MSME are playing very important role in fulfilling the objective of Atmanirbhar Bharat. During the past few months of COVID-19, MSME have played and helped us in becoming self-sufficient, self-reliant in PPE kits, medical and non-medical kits, sanitizers, face shields, test kits, and various other medical equipment. We are not only fulfilling our needs, but also we are exporting these items in short period of time. India appreciates the role of MSME in the economic development of the country and have always helped to grow them by way of various policy interventions. Under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, credit guarantee scheme and funds of funds scheme for MSME was put in place to provide them financial support. On demand of the MSMEs, government has revised the classification of SME, MSME, micro enterprise, where the investment is plant and machinery is 1 crore and turnover does not exceed 5 crores. Similarly, small enterprises where investment in machinery and equipment does not exceed 10 crores and turnover does not exceed 50 crores. A medium enterprise is that where investment in plant and machinery does not exceed 50 crores and turnover does not exceed 250 crores. Priority is always given to MSME in government procurement. Government has made it mandatory for every ministries and every PSUs to set an annual target of 25% purchase from SMEs, out of which 25%, 4% are reserved for those where the MSMEs are run by SC and ST enterprises. So the role of the government is always to encourage the MSMEs and help them so that they can play a very great role in the development of the country. Approximately 20 lakh MSME are registered in GEM portal. Half of these have been registered in last 6 months. GEM is trying to onboard MSME for government procurement. Out of the existing SMEs, sellers on GEM, nearly 7 lakhs are in micro and small scale enterprises with share of 56% in order of value. 1.1 lakh loan guarantee scheme for COVID affected areas was given. Recently, Finance Minister has announced financial package of rupees 1.1 lakh crore for COVID affected sectors. Most of the beneficiaries of this package will be from MSME sector. Under this package, credit guarantee for 50,000 crores will be provided to at interest of 7.95% for health sector and medical infrastructure and 60,000 crores to other sectors at the rate of interest of 8.25%. I am very happy here that with you that India witnessed the highest ever level of exports of $95 billion in the first quarter of the financial year 21-22. The exports recorded in the fourth sector of financial year 21 stood at $90 billion. It means that the last 6 months have been extremely great in terms of exports from India to other countries. So in this, MSME has played a great role. Government has also announced a PLI scheme worth approximately 1.97 lakh crore for 13 sector. MSMEs will also benefit from these schemes as manufacturing growth in India. The government is also continuously working towards making it easy to do business. We want to reduce the compliance burden of businessmen or to move towards self-certification. The government wants to ensure that around 10,000 of the existing compliance processes are reduced for the sake of both government agencies and business by 15th August. With this in mind, government is planning to launch a national single window system in the next 5 weeks. I thank you for attending this webinar. Thank you for inviting me on this occasion. I wish this webinar a great success. I hope the MSME will continue playing a great role in GDP and economic development of India and making India Atmanirbhar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We are really grateful that you have given your precious time to us. Really, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We all are honored and blessed, sir, to have you with us.
Thank you.
We also have amongst us Director of Reserve Bank of India, Shri Satish Marathe. Now I request CA Pooja Trikha to introduce him to all of us. Pooja?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Shalini, for giving me the honor to do the read out the introduction for Shri Satish Marathe ji. Friends, Satish Marathe ji is actually a living legend, and I think he has taken such initiatives in banking sector. We know him as the director of RBI, but while I was going through his profile, he is a man who has grown from the roots and truly representing the Indian structure as such. Born on February 1, 1950, Shri Satish Marathe ji holds bachelor's degree in commerce and law from the University of Bombay. He also holds diploma in journalism, gold medalist from the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. All through his college days, he has been attending morning in the college and working during the day to earn his livelihood. So that's why I say he's a man, a self-made man. Shri Satish Marathe ji started his banking career in Bank of India and rose to be the chairman and CEO of the United Western Bank Limited from 2002 to 2006. Earlier in September 1991, he became CEO of the Jan Kalyan Sahakari Bank Limited, which recorded highest consistent growth during his 10 years tenure. Shri Satish Marathe ji is founder member of Sahatkar Bharti, which was registered in the year 1979 and is presently its member, National Executive Council. Previously, he was the Sarv Shakshak patron for 3 years and also president for 6 years. Sahakar Bharti has spread its activity all over India, and presently over 20,000 cooperatives are associated with Sahakar Bharati. It's the largest NGO in the cooperative sector in the country. He is the founder director of the Center for Studies and Research in Cooperation, a foundation registered under the Section 8 of Indian Companies Act 2013 for undertaking study and research in the cooperative sector. Presently, Satish ji is Director, Central Board Reserve Bank of India, holding the position as Director, National Housing Bank. He is also Independent Director with the Indian Institute of Insolvency Professionals of ICAI. He is the Vice Chairman, Lakshman Rao Imandar National Academy for Cooperative Research and Development, Member, Executive Committee, National Council for Cooperative Training. So hats off to you for leading us the way, holding our hands in the sector of cooperative researchers and study. And the entire gathering is actually going to be enlightened with your words. We welcome you, sir. Over to you, Shalini, for the further deliberations, please.
Yes. Thank you so much, Pooja. And I request our dignitary Shri Satish Marathe to please address us.
Honorable Minister Shri Soprakash ji, organizer of this program, C.S. Shalini ji, and other eminent participants in this webinar. At the outset, I thank you all for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share my views. We have in our countries more than 6 crore MSME units, of which about 25 lakhs are registered MSMEs. Their contribution in the GDP and in exports is very significant. Over the years, several schemes have been launched to promote them. Despite this, we find today that there exists a huge credit gap for the MSME sector, particularly the SME sector, in that the small and micro enterprises sector. And an estimated credit gap today exists of about 17 lakh crores. It's a huge amount. I have been thinking for many years, and particularly after our Honorable Prime Minister announced that doubling of farmers' income would be our national goal. And ever since I have been thinking that to achieve sustainable growth in our country, just as the income of the farmers need to be doubled, we also have to ensure that the income from the entrepreneurs in the SME sector particularly, I'm not talking of the medium scale industries as per the new definition. We need to ensure that they become robust, profitable, and they also contribute in a big way to the ever increasing demand of the Indian society, Indian industry. We were undertaking, one of our colleagues had undertaken a recent study about imports from China. And what we realized was that these imports have been continuously rising only because of the fact that enough credit is not available to our small and medium enterprises. If we ensure that the credit gap is removed and with the support of the existing schemes, I believe we should be substantially reducing our imports not only from China but across the globe. I feel the fintechs will have a very important role as we go ahead in meeting the requirements of the MSME segment. The fintechs can always be act as both aggregators and disaggregators. Our study has shown that in the MSME segment, even in UK, has constantly faced inadequate credit require inadequate credit from the established banking sources. And it was the fintechs which have really played a very important role in providing the necessary financial support by arranging finance at competitive rates from across the financial sector, not only the banks. I feel the time has now come for both the banks to work with fintechs and the MSME segment also to work with the fintechs to cover the credit gap that exists today and which is very phenomenal. I thank you very much, Shalini ji, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share my views. I would only say that we have a robust financial infrastructure now in place in the country, and with a little tweaking, with a little more effort, and with a little more effort to improve recoveries of defaulters, I think we should be doing a great job and the MSMEs would meet the challenges and make it Bharat an Atmanirbhar country. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. So you are an idol of knowledge and experience and inspiration for all of us. Thanks for your gracious presence, sir. We are heartily thankful to you. Really humbled. Thank you, sir. Now I request Sardar Upkar Singh Ahuja ji, who is President of Chamber of Industrial and Commercial Undertaking and CMD of New Swan Group, to address the audience. Upkar Singh, sir. Are you there, sir?
Hello. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. It is my immense pleasure to be with you on this very important seminar. So, Sri Som Prakash ji address the audience. Mr. Satish Marathe ji, Mr. RBI, Mr. Sumit Patra ji, GM SBI, and other dignitaries. So it is my immense pleasure to be with you on this day. I am President of Chamber of Industrial and Commercial Undertaking. Our headquarters are in Ludhiana. Ludhiana is known for a MSME city. We are having approximately 95,000 MSME in Ludhiana. And our chamber is one of the most active association in North India. We are having our own skill development center and we give training under Pradhan Mantri Kushal Vikas Yojana and other scheme. And we have our own NABL accredited lab where we give services to the MSME at very competitive price. We do a lot of seminars, technology upgradation programs, cluster development programs, and we are trying to uplift the MSME so that they compete the world. Ludhiana used to be known as very you can say Jugaadi city, but in last 10 years we have tried to convert it into a very systematic manufacturing place, and now the country and internationally it is known as one of a very strong manufacturing base, and from here companies are supplying to Mercedes, BMW, and even lot of MNCs. So today program is very interesting. This is about the MSME scheme. So our honorable Prime Minister has given us a vision of 5 trillion economy and Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is a very good thing. Atmanirbhar and a 5 trillion dream is only possible if all the stakeholders work in one direction. I have done many studies on China, India manufacturing competitiveness. So what we have found the difference, I tell you a very simple example. Few years back when we used to visit the foreign exhibition, basically my business is for auto components, agriculture machinery and bicycle components. So when we used to visit the international exhibition, we saw few Chinese stall. But in last 10 years, they have started taking the entire area in the international exhibitions. So I checked with few of my Chinese friends that how they are managing, because the local government, they have provided a infrastructure to the Chinese businessmen to participate in the foreign exhibition in a cluster forum. And similar schemes are available in India. So I think, but those schemes are not very popular. So sometimes they are very complicated. There is a scheme under the name of International Cooperation Scheme. So we want that there are around 15 schemes in place, but these schemes are not accepted by the industry, and this the system is very cumbersome. So we understand that government can't give the money free to the industry, but there should be some simplification so that industry can get maximum benefit out of this scheme. The second advantage of China is they get the equipment, because Indian industry need to upgrade the technology and they need to upgrade the manufacturing capabilities also. Because if we compare a industry making, you can say, bicycles in India and bicycles in China, there is a huge difference. There are many friends sitting here from hosiery industry, from engineering sector and bicycle industry. So our units are, the scale of our units are not up to the level of Chinese industry. There is a scheme that is CLSS, that is capital linked subsidy scheme. If we buy some equipment which are for technology upgradation, government gives some subsidy on interest. It is in that maximum cap is up to 2 crore. It used to be 1 crore. Government has extended it to 2 crore. We request that these type of schemes should be further enhanced and make it popularized. At the moment, these schemes are on hold. So there are number of schemes by the MSME. The schemes are well designed, and recently they have upgraded also. But industry is not able to use these schemes at up to the extent we must use it. Because if we have to compete with China, we all the stakeholders like industrialists, even the state government and the central government, we have to work in single direction. For example, if Chinese government decided to support, let us assume Nepal, so their railways, their industry, their local government, everybody want to invest in that country, and in this case, they are very much successful. Whereas in India, I think it is not much popular. So I think we should design our schemes, and we should collaborate more with the center state government, the industrialists. This program is also, this can be useful because all the stakeholders are there, even RBI, from people from RBI, people from bank, even our Minister Sahab was also there. So these types of programs should be conducted regularly to bridge the gap between the stakeholders. One of the most strong pillar for China is cost-effective labor. government has many schemes for skill development, but if you ask the industrialists, they mention that they don't get the skilled people. I think responsibility of skilling should be given to the industrial association and the industrial unit individually. So that will be very useful. The next bottleneck is upgradation and research and development. So if you visit any Japanese, I have a two Japanese collaboration and one European collaboration. So I used to visit them. So they focus too much on upgradation and research and development. But here in India, we are very much busy in other issues, like recently electric shortage is there. Sometimes there are agitations, sometimes there are other hiccups. So these types of things should not happen if we really want to become a manufacturing nation, or if we want to our dream to be true of 5 trillion economy. Then cluster development is one of the major area. Recently, government is starting scheme for one district, one product. And these types of schemes should be, unfortunately, because of Corona, a lot of schemes are slow or are on halt. We request the MSME ministry and even our ministers are from Ministry of Commerce to speed up these schemes, and there should be regular interaction like this with all the stakeholders so that Indian industry can grow and we can fulfill our dream for 5 trillion economy. I have a lot of other things, but as the time slot given me is 5 to 7 minutes, I will finish my speech here. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for your deliberations. Really thanks to you. Now our today's speaker, Vinod Rawalji. He is a chartered accountant, tax lawyer, information system auditor, international tax blogger, corporate advisor, financial planner, and speaker on various financial issues. I welcome you, sir, and request you to please enlighten our audience on our today's topic, various schemes for MSME and startup.
Thank you very much, Shalini ji. Honorable Shri Som Prakash ji, Union Minister of State for Commerce and Industry. Our tax guru, Dr. Girish Ahuja ji, I think हमारा उनको चरण स्पर्श, my mentor. Satish Marathe ji from Reserve Bank of India. And Gaurav Munjal ji, MD Hero Ecotech. Upkar Singh Ahuja ji, thank you for your wonderful words for saying everything on this. Shri Harish Khairpal ji, Financial Secretary, Mr. Chon SME, Chandigarh. Mr. Ashwini Gupta, Convener of Visionary Professional Associations of India. It's very clear. It's, I think, we all are visionaries here. So we are looking from that angle itself. So he's a visionary itself. First, I would like to congratulate Shalini ji for thinking of this event. I think for the Manchester of this country, Ludhiana, the knitwear, the bicycle, you name the industry and it is there. We are Punjabis, we know that what Ludhiana has in our hearts. This is basically, this is the financial hub of this North India completely. It's a food bowl for the whole country. So Ludhiana, if you're thinking for MSMEs, for increasing more industries, because lots of losses has happened in past and we have to come out of that. As usual, I will say, I think the national anthem we generally listen nowadays, that abhi corona gaya nahi hai, so first take care of yourself, be safe. And let's now start on the topic of the day, various schemes for MSMEs and startups. Frankly speaking, when this topic was assigned to me to speak on this, I was really thinking what to say. We all are chartered accountants. These are very small things. We know everything about these things. And as Upkar Singh ji was saying, that 2 crore subsidy, actually what has happened, the limit has increased, whereas in comparison to that, the subsidies and the credit limits has not increased. So micro industry and small industry, when we talk about, then 1 crore and 2 crores against 250 crores looks, it's a pity amount. So frankly speaking, I was thinking that what to do. We are the people with whom 1 crore or 2 crore, I think you cannot buy even a single machine nowadays. So I was thinking what to say to my professional brothers, what to say my industrial friends who are here, what to say to the entrepreneurs who are thinking of getting the schemes. So I found from the MSME portal something different, honestly, which I thought is much better than discussing about the credit schemes. So I immediately shifted my everything, and I think everybody will excuse me that I'm not going for the credits, because I'm leaving this for my friend who's from bankers to explain that banking ideas, how to get more credits, how to get incentives and out there. So I'm leaving for him. So on the other side, I'm going on the other side of it, the procedural part, which we chartered accountants face every day, which the entrepreneurs face every day. After this COVID-19, the major loss which COVID-19 has given to us is now the thinking of projections. We are not able to project what is going to happen next year, how to project figures for 2022. We thought 2020 it will be over. We projected for 21. Now bankers are after our life, that what will happen to this. There is no turnover, no revenues are coming as it was expected. So growth is a big problem, and for CAs as well as for the entrepreneurs. Planning part, I think the major loss after medical is your ability of thinking on this, that how to go ahead, how to make money, what business I should plan. Should I book my machine or not? Whether I will get orders or not? Should I keep my employees with me or leave them? So nobody is able to think over कि कल क्या होगा. इसी में सब उलझे हुए हैं. So we are not able to come out of it. Upkar Singh ji was talking about China. So I was listening to him very carefully. He talked about in China, actually, in last decade when they were growing, the SMEs growth was double digit. It was 10% every year. It is now 38 million number of SMEs are there in China. No doubt their criteria may be different. I'm not comparing apples with apples and apples with oranges. These are apples with oranges. So there is a difference. Their criteria are different. Their employment, they put employment in their criteria. But in our case, we are putting our investment in plant and machinery as well as our turnover ratio. So we are comparing on that basis. So there are 38 million SMEs as compared to us. In Beijing itself, there are 3,100. They are creating 2.8 billion US dollar revenue. I'm talking of old figures. This is BC, before Corona. This is not before Christ. It's before Corona I'm talking about. So this was the number. Now in our country, we are being led by our visionary Prime Minister as our Minister of State, Som Prakash ji, was giving his words on that. So basically, we are led by a Prime Minister who actually thinks on that. And particularly this MSME ministry is being led by Mr. Nitin Gadkari, who is known to be a versatile minister who goes in and out of the box. He is the person he is the only person who can throw away his own people, saying that thank you very much, after 50 years, we are inaugurating this head office. Now, he was speaking at NHAI. I remember that words. I was part of that. So anyway, he thinks out of the box. So I could find some good schemes on MSME portal, which I'm going to discuss with you for raising the working capital, which will be of use to us. If you permit me, I can share my screen to you, it will help me in explaining the things. My screen is visible to all. I think somebody can write on the chat box, or I think unmute and just say Shalini. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay, thank you
Yes,
very much. I thought I skipped somewhere. Just allow me a second, sir. Anyway, before it starts, let me just allow me a second, please. Somewhere I'm not so tech savvy. In the meantime, it starts. We can go ahead with that. Basically, while you can come here. Yeah. Basically, so MSME definitions are there. This is all simple for us. We don't need to go ahead of that. This is manufacturing and services both. Now, retail and wholesale has been added. We all are aware of. There is nothing special in that. I'm just skipping all these slides. MSME classifications. This is says micro is 1 crore and the turnover 5 crores. Small 10 and 50. I think it's like सूरज को दिया दिखाने जैसा है. लुधियाना में बैठ के आपको MSME की definitions बताना. So I don't want to go into that details. This is the composition of major sectors. Here we can make some basically numbers here. Like you will see the retail trade was 40%. So now that has been added, so we can understand how much benefit we are going to get from the retail trade in coming time. And this is basically going to help us a lot in coming time. Manufacturing of apparels, this is 9%. Food products, every data is there. We are going ahead. I basically want to lead to some other place. This is all contribution to MSME, of MSME to Indian economy. These are all numbers. I think our Honorable Minister has already explained all this. And very simple, we are basically MSME contributes, manufacturing GDP contributes 6% to GDP, services 24.6%, and manufacturing output is 33.4%, and MSME contribution to export is 45%. See the numbers. It means we are more exporting our services. We are still have a scope in manufacturing for exports. We are missing there. Here, I think Upkar Singh was right on that we have to get the opportunities to make some situations here that the manufacturing sectors goes for much more exports. So with that number, our export will be higher. And in that case, we'll be getting more, I think, foreign exchange and all that. So that issues can be resolved out with that. So now, if you go by this, what are the benefits of MSME? I think it's very simple for all you guys. There is nothing special in that. This is all collateral-free loan facilities, priority lending, protection against delayed payments. Basically, the major advantage is this. 3 times of the bank rate, interest rate person pays if he doesn't pay on the agreed date. So agreed date is there. Then tender preferences MSME is there. Already it has been mentioned that up to 200 crore standards will be reserved for MSMEs. In last COVID, it has been done, and it has made a major impact. It has made a major impact on MSME, and the numbers have gone up. These are the MSME schemes, basically, which I think my friend will be much explaining instead of me. Employment generation scheme, Khadi village and core industries, technology upgradation and quality certification, which will be basically required for the Ludhiana people, for the Punjab as a whole, and the North as a whole. Technology upgradation is very much required now. With that, we can go for better industrialization and better industrial output, as well as to the exports of industrial products, where China has taken lead in last two decades. And I think now it is our time. India has a big opportunity. If I say that COVID has created a problem for all of us, but on the other side, let me tell you very clearly, the opportunity which was expected to come after a long gap of time, now we can expect that in our own lifetimes, it's going to come with us. So now there are initiatives of MSME where I wanted to bring all of you. Basically, there are certain initiatives in addition to credits and subsidy schemes. I have intentionally skipped those credit and subsidy schemes to explain all this. I have been allotted I think 20-25 minutes. Vinod Garg, he wants to say something. He's raising hands. Something, Vinod ji? Okay. Anyway, basically, when I was going through MSME portal, I found few schemes on that. That was MSME Samadhan. I found some blogs on that. MSME Sambandh, MSME Sampark, MSME Champions, MSME Data Bank. Udyam registration is a very old one. Receivables Exchange, and then it's M1 Exchange, Minda Exchange, and then Invoice Smart. Frankly speaking, these are the new initiatives taken by MSME in past, basically which can change our lives. An entrepreneur's life or a chartered accountant's business can be changed. This is the place we can think of our balance sheets and go ahead. If I go with one by one, what is this MSME Samadhan scheme? It is the same thing which we are talking about in benefits. But how we are not getting those benefits, how this MSME will get that benefited with that? Basically, that work which MSME has done is really marvelous. That can change the whole scenario, frankly speaking, which I understand. This is MSME this is the screen on MSME portal, which we generally go and skip it. It is on the bottom of it. If you go by MSME Samadhan, now online, as we are doing faceless and income tax, GST and all the portals, this has also been done in the same way. Now, if anybody has a problem, he can go, any entrepreneur can file a complaint online. And within 15 days, council takes actions on that applications. Online intimation will be sent to both entrepreneurs and respondents. It means from whom you have to take money, he will be informed and the council will be informed by mail. Mutual settlement, if it happens, thank you very much, it's very nice. If it doesn't happen, it will go ahead. Within 90 days, my grievance can be now settled with interest. I think this is the basically change, that how I will get my money back. It's very easy to say on the laws. We all have read laws in past, which says, okay, itna byaj milega. The businessman does not get that money. Even on every bill it is mentioned, 18% interest will be charged for delayed payment. I can challenge in any of the 100 people, 100 participants here, if anybody has claimed interest on his bill or on delayed payment. Dear friends, we have to do business. And believe me, sometimes we are working on a very low margin, and if bill is delayed, sometimes if we really make the factoring of that, the cost factor of that, the interest burden, your money is lost. It is not an easy thing. But MSME portal gives us the benefit of this MSME Samadhan. Simply put an application with your invoice and all documents which you have, put it there, let the entrepreneur reply why he is not paying within 15 days as the agreed date. So this is very important. This MSME Samadhan is a very important aspect of this whole MSME. So I'm talking about the initiatives, the benefits, the schemes. I call it scheme. I call it a scheme taken from the Act itself, MSME Act 2006. It was giving the option. Now that has been done digitally. This is the proof of digital India, how we can take that advantage. If we go by this MSME Samadhan, simply put the documents as application and rest the thing to be done by the council itself. And if some appeal has to be filed by the person who is settling it, he has to deposit 75% to the court first. Believe me, 75% दे के कोई high court में adjudicate कराने नहीं जाएगा. He will try to settle it out. So MSME payment is fully secured. This is the way. Then we reach to the second part of this. If you really go, this is MSME Sambandh. If you go by MSME Sambandh, this government last year announced, okay, 20% of the public procurement will be done from the MSME. Initially, nobody bothered. But later on, when this situation came, and it was डंडे वाली तरह बोला गया उनको कि भैया नहीं करोगे तो your officers will be at fault. Now every officer came forward. I think there are officers in this webinar itself. They must be accepting my version what I am saying. It was asked to them in such a way that you have to do this, and it was done. And then, और हम हिंदुस्तानी है, जब हम करने लगे फिर हम बीच भी भूल गए. Then it is cost 20%, and then government came out with 25%, and this was not a small thing. Now 25% of the public procurement, the government has to procure from MSMEs only. Now it is up to the MSMEs to come forward and basically go for that. Actually, we are not using our rights. We are not thinking on it, what is available to us. We are just thinking of loan 1 crore मिलता है, 1 crore से कौन सा इंडस्ट्री लगती है. I agree with that. But collateral free तो सर कितना मिलेगा? There are limitations. There may be other modalities can be formulated. Other interest credit guarantees can be formulated with the good entrepreneurs. That must be getting it done. So 25% public procurement is now being done by MSME Sambandh public procurement. And again, there is a portal where you can go, you can see the requirements of the departments. Vis-a-vis, you can register. We have registered our product there, so you can match. Now it's a Sambandh. It's a Shadi Karane jaisa. It is not a simple thing. You have to go there. You see what is the available requirements are there. MSME units can work on that. This is the total data of procurement from